Lights are flashing, doors are slamming. Never know what's real.
Soon, every vampire, every werewolf came spiraling. Scarecrow, wild midnight came spiraling. Scarecrow, wild midnight. Scarecrow, wild midnight. Scarecrow, wild midnight.
Clever but incomplete start.
Lights are flashing, doors are slamming. Never know what's real here.
Soon, every vampire, every werewolf came spiraling. Scarecrow, wild midnight came spiraling. Scarecrow, wild midnight. Scarecrow, wild midnight. Scarecrow, wild midnight.
Run to me, alright. Run to me, alright. Oh, wow. Run to me, either way. Oh, wow.
Through the stratosphere,
Oh, wow. Run to me, either way. Oh, wow.
through the stratosphere.
Slashing, slamming,
Every werewolf came spiraling. Scarecrow, wild midnight came spiraling. Scarecrow, wild midnight. Scarecrow, wild midnight. Scarecrow, wild midnight.
The Scarecrow walks at midnight, and he will.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another chat. That's right, my name is Daramouthe, or Dara for short, because some people still say Daramouthe, and they're wrong. No matter what they say, they're wrong. The E is silent for a reason, people. Okay. Oh goodness, it's not like people get your name wrong, Amorata, or do they? I think you might be muted. Yeah, I can hear you. Or either that, or she stepped away from the screen for a bit. Well, that's okay. We'll look at her VTuber for a while, because it is very Lovecraftian, very Cthulhu-like. But I don't think her VTuber models changed much, to be honest. I think this was last time there. I don't know. But anyway, but yes, this is Miss Amorata's or Horror Amorata's third time being on. Obviously, of course, it's been a while because you don't have like over 260 people. All right, I think I can hear you now.
All right. Yeah. Sorry, there was a slight emergency with the dogs, but we're all done. Sorry.
Okay. Anyway, it's okay. Anyway, welcome back. the ever lovable but ever scary Horror Amorata. Now, do people get your name wrong?
A lot. Yeah. Well, I don't think they get my name wrong. But the problem is so many of them are worried about saying Horror Amorata, as in horror as opposed to horror. But
Yeah.
I don't worry about it.
Yeah, I just say Amorata because yeah, it is kind of like a homonym at a certain point.
Mhm.
Almost, but not quite. But no, just like my people still say my name wrong. So it's like, come on, guys. It's like we've gone past kindergarten. We can at least get the silent E is there for a reason. Come on.
Too many people don't understand the silent E.
No, not exactly. It's like when you used to remember like what the vowels were, right? Like A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y, and everyone forgets the vowels at all. So
Mm-hmm.
there's that. Oh my goodness. But yes, I was telling them, it's been a hot minute since you were last on.
Yeah, just a little while.
Hey, Joe Cool. And a lot of stuff has happened. Obviously, for those who don't know, the Amorata, she's a lovely married woman now.
Mm-hmm. I'm a
And
married squid.
the what, married a squid?
No, I am a married squid.
A married squid. All right, there you go. Well, is it really what they call that in the Lovecraftian stuff?
No, but that's what I call it.
Well, there you go. We'll leave it at that. But yeah, I mean, I think it was last year, wasn't it?
No, it was just in April.
Oh, that's right, because of the FNT thing. Oh,
Hmm.
that's right. Tells you how fast time goes by, and you're just like, wait a minute, I remember I
Yeah.
put myself somewhere. But you got married at one of those hotels in Las Vegas, those chapels at Las Vegas, didn't
Yep.
you?
Absolutely worth it too. It makes things so much easier.
Is it just like you just pay for? How does that work? Is they just pay for somebody and that's it, or what?
Well, you pay them. They deal with the majority of the setup and everything. You tell them, like you pick the little things that you want, and they set it all up. You go and you get married. You leave, and they clean it up. You don't have to worry about anything. They
That's
do
how
the
you.
pictures. They help you set up your lunch or whatever, and
I
yeah, it's
know.
pretty easy.
You know what? I wish it would be easy like that for any others, but no, her link is in the description down below, Joe. It's down in the description. But but yeah, because I've had a few siblings that have gotten married, both women, obviously, but the first one that did was with her boyfriend for about 10 years, I think, around 10 years, and that was not fun.
Yeah.
that was that was not fun. It was great when it was over, but it was not fun. Never have too many links. Well, I have a link tree, so that's why. So I don't have too many links. Um, but no, it was, and the worst part about it too is like it was in summer, and the day it happened, it was so because it was outside. Well, the
Hmm.
wedding, no, the wedding and the meal were outside. It was so humid outside. Oh my
Oh
god.
gosh. Yeah.
So it was at this sort of barn type place, and it was at this, yeah, it was a barn type place, and it was outside, but the only place you could ever get any reprieve was in the bathrooms, 'cause that's the only place that had air conditioning. So it's
Oh
like, oh,
God.
yeah, it was not fun. It got better once the night went on because the sun went
Hmm.
down, but it was no. Let me be honest to you, there are some people who are bridezillas out in the world, but part of it is stress, right? You wanna get it right, you wanna make sure
Hmm.
everything goes well, but that's never the case. But how you act out in it and how people react to you, that's the whole ball game right there, and it was no, no.
Hmm.
If I were to, I probably wouldn't do it like you did. If I were to do it, I probably would just do like like a 1, 2, 3 step, right? Done, done, and done.
Hmm.
But yeah, and then my other sibling, they did it outside as well, but it was a lot better. It was a lot better outside. It was during summer, but it was a lot better. And they decided to have it like outside. They didn't have the eating part outside though. They had it at a church, so they didn't have that. But man, weddings cost a lot of money. Holy crap! And I got a link tree as well, but still chat link for ease of use. Well, give me a second, all right? Goodness sakes. I gotta do everything for people. But hold on. I already know where things at, but let me get it so I don't have to. All right. I'll take half the work away from you there, uh um
He
Joe.
just wants to click on the link. That's all he wants.
There you go. There. Now you happy? Now you get the link. All right. I get the link now. There it is. There you go. Right there. There's your link. Click on the link. It'll take you directly to your channel. I hope you're I hope you're happy for making me do all that work. But it was but it probably was pretty hot out in Las Vegas, wasn't it?
It wasn't too bad. It was during the spring, so it's not so bad during the spring. But it's, okay. It was, I enjoyed it. Everything really went together very well. It was just a really good time. I mean,
Yeah.
this is actually my second wedding. I was married once and got divorced. So the first wedding was way different, and just having somebody else shoulder all the issues with that, having to get things together and seating charts and
Yeah.
all that, it made it so much easier.
Mm. And that's all right. That sucks to hear though, because usually, um, yeah, you can't tap out the chat in Rumble Studio, unfortunately.
Oh, well, that
Um,
sucks.
yeah, that does suck. But hopefully they change that one day, maybe. Um, but yeah, because I mean, you hear those stories about people who get married and then they kind of go through this whole spiel of things, and it really just ends up turning out bad. So when you hear stories like that, even for people who think about getting married, that's kind of like a what's the word? It's kind of like a deterrent. It's kind of
Yeah.
like a deterrent when people are like, "Oh, well, if that person got married and it didn't work out, and that person got married and didn't work out, then what's the point of me getting married and it working out?" And that's a reasonable assumption to make because
Mhm.
again, you see a lot of that out there. Um, especially with like, those I'm sure you see those channels, but like the channels that do like what is that one? The whatever podcast or something like that.
Mhm.
And another one's like that. It's just mm, yeah, I can't. No, I can't. It's just one of those things where if you really want to have a true discussion on um male and female relationships, you don't go to channels like that, or you don't go to Gilbert Tate, or you don't go to you just because or the man or that whole like those people that do the survival camps, whatever, like for
Mhm.
men or what. You don't go to that because that's not how that's gonna get there, at least from my point of view. I don't know what you think though.
It's one of those things, if you really want to talk about relationships, you don't go to people who are trying to make money off of talking about relationships, because they're going to talk about the most incendiary possible things, because that's the way to get people's attention. That's the way to make money. And
Mhm.
that's kind of how it works.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't, and that's why. Well, off not too off topic, but for me, it's like when someone asks me about like a merch store or whatever, I was kind of I don't have one, but I was kind of hesitant in that manner because I do this thing because I enjoy getting to talk to people like yourself and of course Sheep and so many others. But to try to make a thing out of it on that scale is sort of like a dismissal of why I'm doing it in the first place. Because mean, it really feels like it cheapens why people come to you if you're like, "Oh, here, buy this coffee. Oh, here, buy this store." And I know it's a way of support, don't get me wrong, but it does feel like, "Okay, so are you here to do what you do because you want to for the people, or are you here just to sell a bunch of stuff because, there's that." Um,
It there's one of the things about being a streamer, and
mhm,
I don't know if you've thought about this or anything, but it's something I keep at the front of my head, because it's just true. In order to do this, no
mhm,
matter what the other reasons are around it, in order to do this, you have to want attention. You can't do this and not want attention, because in order to do this, you have to get attention. So
mhm,
at some point, in some way, we are all looking for attention from everybody else. Now, what we then do with that attention is an entirely separate issue. Some people use it to sell stuff from other people. Some people just use it to make money off of their audience.
mhm,
In the end, we would all kind of like to make a little money off of our audience, not because we don't like our audience, but because everybody likes money, and money makes life easier.
mhm,
And it's really hard to go out there and say, I mean, like, I do it, and I do make a little bit of money from a couple places. I have very kind people who occasionally donate to me. I have, subscriptions on YouTube, or subscribers on YouTube, and
mhm,
people have sent me money on Rumble and other places, and deeply appreciate it, and I would
Mm.
keep doing it even if nobody ever did, just because for me it's also not only do I get a little attention sometimes, but it's also an excuse to play my video games.
Yeah.
So, if I say I'm going to go upstairs and stream for a little while and I can pick a video game I want to play and people come in and hang out and talk to me, that's
Mm.
great. If I make a little money off of it too, that's even better.
Mm.
It all just kind of compounds from there. But in the end, at the very end of it all,
Mhm.
if you're here, it's because you want attention.
I can agree to that to some degree because again, like you said, in order to get seen, you have to kind of bring attention to yourself. But it's the intent of the attention, right? Like
It's
if
what
you,
you do with it from there. Yeah.
yeah, because you could say that, but we don't want to generalize that. So we base it on the fact of okay, what do you want to do with that intention? And my intention with that attention is the basis of because of the people I get to talk to, and then I get to showcase people that are and aren't creators because that's not something I see very often out there. Just in talking with people in general, because I've talked to people from uh, all over the world, and you know, kind of looking out on the space of the of whatever you choose the content creator you want to do. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you what to create or what not to create. That's not my business. But I will say that what I've seen and what I do is more so because it's just not out there or I haven't seen it. So as far
Mhm.
as been looking out there, though I don't search far. I have no pirate map for this, so uh, but yeah, I can agree that to some degree there's that attention part, but more it's the what is the intent for that attention? Why do you
Mhm.
want the attention and all stuff? And that's where I'd rather be at because my intent is not for what some would say is just hogging the spotlight, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word. But for me it's because of people like you, people like Joe, people like Wendy and so many others to kind of showcase that there are people you can have conversations with, even the most difficult ones. And if you're good at it, you can come out on top. If not, well, you're just humans at the end of the day. Well, maybe not you so much. You're a bit more squiddy, but that's beside the point. So, but I can agree to that, and yeah, I've always seen the money faction or the followers or the likes, all that stuff as a bonus to the central point of it, which is the conversational factor. But it is a varied bunch of how one goes about it, and because of the field being so large, like the platforms, and pretty much almost all platforms are monetizable in some manner. It really does come to a point. Okay, so why do people create in the first place? Beyond the attention point, and again, you have the money and all that stuff. But
Mhm.
this is just by speculation of looking out there. Because I am no professional. That is
Yep.
for sure.
No, neither am I. I mean, I would love to be able to make money just playing video games and talking to people. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening though. So
I mean, it would be funnier if you did it while talking trash.
it usually works better, yeah, but I have to have a reason to talk trash.
Yeah. At least you don't do like what was in the past. I saw this video of I can't remember if it was on X or YouTube where it was a video of someone uh this girl on Twitch, and she was just belittling people because they weren't subscribed to her. She's like, you can afford to watch me, but you can't afford $5." I'm just like, what what is this?
Yeah. Yeah, that kind of person I've never understood, Yeah, they're crazy.
Yeah, well, and that kind of lends itself to like the Twitch and all the hot tub stuff and all that. And I don't know if that's so much of a thing anymore, but it does kind of lend itself a credence. Like like doing content creation is going to be taken over by both sides of the coin, by both good and bad people, because there's money to be made out of it. Like you see the crypto stuff, right? Like the crypto scams and all that, or you've probably seen like accounts being hijacked by crypto things and whatnot, and that whole spiel. It it really is this big pool of things. Um, and Joe says, I would imagine wearing a Cthulhu face is enough reason to talk trash at all times. You must reduce viewers and need to tell me this.
I just do that naturally.
Oh, oh, that this earlier should have been think. Oh, okay, okay. This, goodness sake. But yeah. Okay. You answer. Because I was gonna ask. I saw the question, but I didn't know if you wanted to answer that out loud or not.
I mean, I can. There's more to it. The fact is when it comes to what should Rumble focus on, there's only so much they can do. I mean, they can continue to improve their interface and everything. But if they want more creators, creators have to feel like they have a chance to be seen by viewers. And
Yeah.
if they want more viewers, viewers have to find creators that they want to see.
Yeah.
So and to top it off, you have the third aspect where creators and viewers then have to be willing to go through the process of visiting a different site. That's a habit that gets established and can be extremely hard to break.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Especially.
And that's not within Rumble's control, realistically. It's a choice people have to make. I have been consciously choosing to stream on Rumble for a while now. I've been consciously choosing to upload videos to it as well as YouTube for a while now. And I can't say I've seen a lot of benefit from it, but I still do it.
Yeah. And again, that's what I've done with my uh that's what I've done with my feedback collection stuff, is to kind of show, like, well, one, to help people understand that they're not alone in what they say, and two is to kind of show where a big chunk of people are at with what they say. And the biggest issue is Rumble's discovery. Like, the only discovery you get is if someone sees you or if you get an editor's pick. And even then, that's kind of varied, because sure, you'll get somebody who gets picked by the editor's pick, but sometimes it's either someone big that's coming to the platform. Like, I did see Desiree. I did see Blabs get picked once for Scribes Go to Podcast, and so many others. But at the end of the day, though, um, it's the biggest, and you're right, it is a sort of like a trifold problem, but you have to start somewhere.
Mhm.
And without the basics taken care of, it's just more shooting in one's foot and not realizing how self-damaging that is. And yeah.
It's rough because Rumble's, for one, decided to do something that a lot of people really don't understand, and that's they're building everything themselves.
Yeah.
And when you do that, it takes a lot longer to get to where you're going because it's a lot of work. You have to do a lot of different things, and where you start is going to be absolute trash. And I mean, even since they just came out, Rumble's improved considerably from
Mm,
where they once were.
mm,
But they're also trying to avoid, the mistakes that other platforms have made
yeah.
while making their own mistakes at the same time.
Mm,
That's not to say there isn't a lot of things that they could probably fix.
mm,
Sometimes I don't appreciate the way they speak to people who are trying to bring up problems with the platform, and sometimes I feel like there are things that they choose to ignore without explaining why they're not addressing them, and that can be an issue. And for certain types of people, that can be the issue that drives them away or keeps them from trying it.
yeah.
And for other types of people, they don't care. But
Mm,
this is one of those things that there is no one way you can do this. It's a problem that will either get fixed because people will get so pissed off at YouTube for their behavior that they'll have no other choice,
mm.
or it won't, and then Rumble will eventually fade out.
Yeah. That's the two ways. I wasn't in the essence of, like, my thing was like, you have to start somewhere and go from there. But the answer to how to do it is not always the easy one. But but another part of it is, you can go, once you go to the Rumble website, you can go to the front page and you're blasted with politics stuff, and
Mhm.
keeps keeps confirming the confirmation bias that people hear and build. And you're not going to erase that unless you either A, get rid of editors picks and have it be sort of like the front page of whatever someone watches, or B, you stop picking politics on the majority of it and start showcasing people who, well, politics and gaming, but more so just a variety of people. And like you said, there's no easy answer, but you have to start somewhere. Otherwise, as you also stated, you can fade into obscurity, and once you fade into obscurity, it is very difficult to come back from that. Very difficult.
I mean, it's such a difficult issue because in order to keep your platform going, you have to in some way cater to the people that visit your platform the most. And because of the way Rumble started, that is going to be the political people.
Mhm.
And so they want to keep that up there to make those people happy. But if you want to grow, you then have to figure out how you're getting those other people in. How do you get the how-to videos onto Rumble? How do you get the let's play videos onto Rumble and all those other extra not political stuff? Because that's what made YouTube so big. It's not anything else. It's just people posting whatever they wanted to YouTube is what made YouTube so big.
Yeah.
And it's actually a bigger search engine than even Google because of the fact that people will search, how do I do my oil changes? How do I repair this? How do I cook that? And they'll go to YouTube and do it and see the videos and watch those videos. So, but how you get those people onto Rumble? That's the hard part. And at some point, it's not anything that Rumble can do. It's choices that people have to make.
Mhm.
If you are someone who wants to see things change, but you're not taking the steps that would create that change, you're part of the problem. Not you specifically. I mean, obviously, it's a general you. I want to be clear.
No,
But, you
I
know,
gotcha. Yeah.
people who choose to watch on Rumble and instead of watching over on
YouTube.
YouTube,
Basically.
yeah, it makes a big difference. And I see jokes talking about the search algorithm. Creating an algorithm isn't easy. I mean, look at what happens on YouTube. The algorithm on YouTube is so janky sometimes, and especially with the continued use of AI and how screwed up that can get everything.
Right. Yeah.
It's how do you create an algorithm, excuse me, that is both organic enough that people feel like they're getting what they want, but at the same time is feeding people what they need, or feeding people what they want, so that they stay on the platform.
Yeah.
And it's just not easy right now. If I was going to say anything really had a true chance to really compete, it would be X. If X would do a better job with their streaming, they would probably be able to beat YouTube fairly easily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that might not hit that regard though, because he's more focused on grok and stuff. So that might be something else.
Well, he's mostly focused on getting to Mars, so
That is
everything
true.
else is secondary, realistically.
Yeah, that is true. And having more kids. Don't forget that. The man.
You know, whatever he does with his sperm is up to him.
I didn't think we'd go that far in discussion, but sure. Uh, but no, it is multivariate, but somewhere has to be the place to start. Otherwise, it's just not going to go anywhere. And you're
Well,
right.
and they've already started. They're and I mean, that's part of the problem is they have started. They're working on it. They're trying. You can't sit back and just say they're not doing anything, because obviously if they were doing nothing, Rumble wouldn't exist.
Right.
The fact is unfortunately, whenever you try to do this thing, when you start, you're always going to have people who feel like they're not in the right spot, in the right place, because they're not the ones being seen either. It's hard.
Yeah, and obviously because of what they're so used to, and like you said with that earlier, it's a hard habit to break. But again, with this content creator sphere stuff, people are majority of that time the answer is reach and money, of why they're not getting the views, or they're not getting the amount of money or whatever. And those can be used as excuses, but sometimes they're used as the fact of why someone won't try something else.
Mm-hmm.
But but yeah, it is a difficulty. But then again, that's like you talk to the people who actually who can know those things. Like I know a bunch of tank people who are plenty skilled and stuff, and to build an algorithm for them is not super difficult, or for them for coding and stuff. Like you already know who Tomby is, right?
Mhm.
So he's pretty good at what he does. So you can ask someone like Tommy, like, okay, Tommy, what would it take for them to do something that would work as an organic thing, but wouldn't really be on the same place of like what YouTube does with theirs, which is sort of, uh, I guess, a form of manipulation. I'm not sure. I've heard those stories though. Um,
Oh, there's manipulation going on, but there always will be. Anytime you have an algorithm, there's some amount of manipulation to be gone into. So
yeah, well, yeah, and that gamification. Tab says YouTube is interdimensional cabal.
yeah, you're not wrong.
The should have just said cabal. That would have taken care of it. Joe says when I type there are billions in YouTube, the whole VOD page is the game. On Rumble, on the they are billions game tab, there isn't even one VOD that is a game. Yes.
I mean, that leads to the question: is anybody on Rumble playing the game?
There is that too, but without a great ability of search, how would you know? Yeah, that's
I
something.
mean, I would actually let me experiment right now because I've been playing Expedition 33
Yeah, 33.
on my stream, and well, it's all the quartering. The quarter. Oh my god, do they have anything on here other than the quartering? Oh, here's somebody. Switzerland play
Mhm,
it. That's at the very bottom of the first page. Holy shit.
yeah.
And then Lumpy Potato, Hernandez, Spartan.
Mhm,
He's got some side scroller here. Let me see if I do by most recent.
mhm,
Oh, yep. Here's somebody in a separate language. And a couple others. Gaming
mhm,
with Smooth. Smooth's a nice guy. I like him.
mhm.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would ask that first question: Is anybody playing? I've never heard of the game, so I can't speak for how popular it might be. But
Mm. Well, at least one is willing to answer you. Joe is willing to answer your question for you if anyone's
you've been
playing it.
he's been playing it on stream.
It looks like it. He says he's been playing it for 2 years, so must be the case. Uh, but it's a cult pop game. What?
I don't even know what
Cult?
the fuck that is.
Yeah, I don't. I've never heard of it either. It has its own category. Oh, okay. But yeah, it's certainly a multi. It really goes to saying how do you solve a problem like Maria is basically how you describe it.
Hmm.
So, but it's still it has to be resolved to some degree. Otherwise, I can't tell you whether it's going to make it a successful platform or whether it's going to make it a platform that will just lose people and not have anyone use it. But right now, people really don't know that something like BitChute exists, or very little people know about Odyssey existing. But
Well,
the
it's
point is,
funny
what?
because I just typed in "they are billions," and the first thing that popped up was his stream.
Well, there you go. See, he was correct. He was the one playing. Uh, they are billion was the game of the year multiple times the last time in 2019. Well, that
Yeah, I don't pay attention to gaming awards.
yeah, she's not like super big gamer sort of
Oh
thing.
no, I'm a big gamer. I just don't give a fuck about gaming awards.
Oh yeah, that's true. They have gone off the rails, complaining about it for weeks, and that's understandable. But again, that's why I do what I do, because instead of just reviewing small scattershot voices, I can look at at least a big chunk and say, well, majority of this chunk needs this thing or that thing, or ease of use here or ease of use there. Because to be honest with you, Rumble makes it twice as hard to be on the platform as it is if you go to any other one, because they already have the tools and stuff. It's been around for a while,
Mhm.
and
But the other side of that is no one can take away their platform from them, which is, I mean, something that they had to do because previous to them, you had platforms like Gab that tried to get started. And because they relied on the Amazon cloud system,
mm,
cloud network, they got
AWS,
pulled
yeah.
down. They got fucked over because there was absolutely nothing they could do when they decided to pull the plug because people felt like it was getting too dangerous or whatever bullshit they decided to pull out their ass about it.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's something that they had to do to keep themselves to know that going forward they will stay on the game
Mhm.
they will stay on the not on the game. They will stay on the internet because when they own everything, when they control everything, no one can just one day say, you know what, we don't like what you're allowing to happen on your platform, so we're just going to shut you down. And that was very important to them, and that's part of why I do support them, even when they're doing things that I don't necessarily agree with,
Mm,
because that is a difficult thing to do.
mhm. Well, I mean, you can't really own everything because I don't think there's any platform out there with their own ISP. Maybe Google could, but there's really no company. There's really no ability
There's
beyond.
a variety of ways you could do things.
Mhm. Well, I mean, yeah, you could probably do like what is it? You could probably do like SpaceX Link and stuff, but that's still owned by somebody.
Yeah.
And the problem of it is that you are no matter what Google Fiber, yeah, I know Google Fiber, but no matter the platform or company or whatever, you're relying on someone to keep to the word that they're not going to kick you off because your politics or whatever you want to call it, insert here, they disagree with. Because to be honest with you, I'm not seeing any reason why any ISP would be stopped to stop somebody from using the internet. There's nothing stopping them from supposedly doing that. Supposedly.
Well, there are many ways to get on the internet. In most cases, with the exception of some small areas, you have many options to use as an ISP. You don't necessarily have to um,
Mhm.
go with just one. So, I mean, of course, like I said, that does depend. Some people are basically stuck with just Xfinity or Comcast or whatever.
Yeah.
But that is also changing. That market is opening up so that there are more options as well.
Mm.
And so, as long as you are not pissing everybody off,
Yeah.
there's usually some way that you can get online.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Don't try to piss the boat in that one. But I mean, it kind of goes with like with what happened to Parlor and whatnot. Although it seems like they're making a comeback, I'm not sure. I just saw the name Parlor. I was like, wait, they're coming back. Um, but Sacred says, "Yep, everywhere I'm in Florida, it's always been one ISP unless you want Starlink. Wow, that sucks.
Oh,
Only
you see,
one.
we've just opened it up, and we've got like at least 3 or 4 here. But I'm in the middle of Montana, so if
Oh,
but a lot of that has to do with government and the fact that so many governments made deals with the ISP people coming
mhm,
in, and they were given exclusive rights to whatever um, infrastructure is there for running their lines and stuff. And then for so long, they get that, and eventually that should run out. And if people are paying any amount of attention, then they are allowed to get more carriers in. But until you get that figured out, you're basically fucked.
yeah. Xfinity is trash everywhere. Someone does not like Xfinity at all.
Most people don't like Xfinity. I mean, we have Comcast here. I'm waiting for another couple months because at that point,
Yeah.
I will then be able to get fiber and move away from uh, the whole issue with Spectrum
Okay.
Comcast.
Yeah,
So
because
that'll be exciting.
I've heard some stories about was there's I've heard some stories about Spectrum and now they kind of screw over their people.
I actually
Um,
don't have a lot of issues with them.
mhm,
But again, I live out in the middle of fucking nowhere. So, well, not, I mean, I live in a town in Montana, which is kind of in the middle of nowhere.
right.
But, you know,
Mhm.
there are worse places to live. We've really been quite lucky.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I basically, where my parents are at, basically live near a ghetto of sorts. So, yeah, there are worser places to be at, especially when you wake up and hearing gunshots at night. I own an MSP. I sell Xfinity, but I don't recommend it. Well, there you go. Joey got from the mouth of babes right there.
Mhm.
Yes, Comcast does own Xfinity. It owns NBC too, if you didn't know that. Coax is the most reliable thing on the planet. It's not the fastest though. So eh, fiber is where it's gonna go at. Either that or a quicker satellite, but that I think is gonna be quite a ways away.
It's always going to have to. I mean, honestly, a system that uses both and has redundancies would be the best, just because sometimes you are not going to have access to the sky.
That's true. Man, tornado comes through. Oh no, Lord! Yeah, it's not gonna be that. Sacred says I've had great experience with Spectrum. Spectrum. Look. Sacred says I had Spectrum 7 years back for 100. The same for Infinity is 300. I feel robbed. Wow.
Holy shit! Yeah, my uncle just moved up here from California,
Wow.
and their internet bill dropped so much, and I only pay $100 a month for the internet currently. Now, when I get the my brain is just not working with me today.
Your ISP.
When I get the fiber, I
Yeah.
will only be paying like $69.99 a month, and that is a lifetime guaranteed amount. So
Gotta
I,
pay
I,
that.
I specifically
Gotta pay
part
that.
of why I signed up early. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Is it with a different company or is it
Oh yeah, no, that'll be a new company moving into the area. They're laying new lines and all that shit.
nice? I was about to say you're getting a pain at 69. Woo.
Oh yeah, it'll be worth it. I'm good. I'm happy.
Can hear and listen to the Hispanics bomb music all night with gunshots. If you want to change your scenery, well, there's not really much difference at it.
I'm good, thanks.
Why would I come to a neighborhood that wants to get me shot up at midnight? Not really interested. Secret says what companies do now is Frontier will buy and sell their area to Comcast or vice versa. So that only one is there. Then they make the price they want. That's true. If you're the only one there, you do get this at the price you want.
Yeah, once again, I'm glad I live where I live and not where you live.
Hey, Malay, how's it going? Thank you, young lady. Sanctuary City, I live in. Please, ice, come to my house. I'll give you coffee. He'll give you an iced coffee. Hey, thank you for it, Malay. I appreciate that.
Hey, Melee.
Melee. But yeah, I just it definitely is something that um while it would be nice to have sort of a hybrid, like between satellite and ground, I do think that it's just for right now people have to suffer with what is, and majority of the time people's, well, not only that, but I mean power, right? Oh, we're doing great. I hope you're doing well too.
Very good.
Um, but it's sort of the thing, like you can have internet too, but without power none of this really matters anymore. Like
Mhm.
once the power goes out, this is pretty pointless.
Yep.
So I always think about that. What happens when you have no ability electrical wise to reach out to people? And I think for many that would be a very scary thought.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people really have. Without the internet and without electricity, they'd really be kind of up the creek without a paddle. That it's
Yep.
scary to think about.
Why? How would I know what the wrongdoing of certain people or whatever podcast is doing if I don't have my Twitter X attached to?
Right.
It's insane. I think Alan is a thorn in a lot of people's Starlink social media cars, really trying to piss off everyone. Well, he has the money too. He has FU money. So
Oh yeah.
yeah. So if you have that kind of money, you're like, well, good luck.
You're not
Um,
going to let me go to space? I'll build my own fucking spaceship. That's
that's
basically
right.
where he is. So
Yeah. Came right back. That's right. Malay got Joe Q's gifted sub. That was hilarious. That was too funny.
mm,
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I think that I know people want a obviously there's Facebook out there and threads and all this stuff. I know people want a different place other than X or Twitter X, but I
mhm.
think that for as long as it's gone on and as much credibility, whether you believe it's good or bad, has built, I think it's going to have long lasting staying power because right now, you can say, oh, go to Blue Sky, go to Facebook, whatever, but really people are mostly going to, they may find other places. Sure, there's a small amount that go around, but there are those in those other places. But X is pretty much where that big chunk of that pie is at. Even I don't think it's bigger than Facebook as far as I remember, the point of the matter is that you can try to go to Neil's platform and try to raise him up and all this stuff, but Twitter X will still have that staying power that unless they do something horribly drastic, which obviously it's not too far yet. Um, I don't think it'll disappear anytime soon unless
Mhm.
Elon changes that. So need actual free speech. Well, yeah, that's one of the things too. Is like I remember when he was saying like the platform is freedom of speech, and then he went and said like freedom of speech but not of reach, and then his former CEO said, lawful but not awful. And those are the kind of things where you kind of like second guess yourself, like, is this a free speech platform or is it mostly just like, as long as you don't do these few things, well, beyond the free speech, I think we'll be okay. And then, yeah,
I
people
mean,
get,
the rough thing is anytime you're using somebody else's platform, somebody else's space, somebody else's money, you're
yeah,
going to have to deal with somebody else's rules.
yeah,
So
yeah,
there's going to be some actual law rules, no matter what you do. I mean, no matter where you go, no matter what you're dealing with, there's going to be rules of some kind. Can everybody agree on the rules? No, they never can.
mhm,
So making them as open as possible is the best way to go. But nobody's ever going to be happy. The best thing you can do is just piss off everybody.
certainly true. And Sacred says agreed. I'm at absolutists want to say something nasty, cool, reap the issues that come with it. Yeah, that's the not free from consequences sort of thing. But no, it's just like you said, no matter what platform you go to, as long as they have a TOS, I mean, it really doesn't feel like freedom of speech because you're dealing with someone else's rules.
I mean, you're going to have to if you want to use anytime you want to use somebody else's stuff. It doesn't
Mhm,
matter if it's their platform. It doesn't matter if it's their lawnmower. You're going to have to deal with their rules,
mhm,
and you just got to decide if you're willing to. Right now, for what we have, X is probably the best we got, sadly. I mean, Gab tried to be very open, free speech for a long time, but I didn't see. I was one of the first 20,000 people over there,
mhm,
but because of the way the world was at the moment, the people you got over there were, and I'm not using the word in a joking way. I
mhm,
mean, we're talking literal Nazi, neo-Nazi types who were there doing that kind of thing.
mhm. Yeah.
And they were saying their stuff, and it was literally by the letter of the law, but because of the fact that they did not own the stuff behind the platform, they ended up having to cut things back because in the end they were using other people's platforms, and it's annoying. But to be fair, Sacred, the government does in fact control your lawnmower. There's a lot of regulations that go into making that lawnmower. Let's talk about gas cans and how they only recently got rid of the really retarded ones that the government mandated and will finally make filling your lawnmower up normal again. Let's talk about the actual signs on your lawnmower telling you not to reach your fingers up under there. I mean, there's a lot of things that the government controls that we don't necessarily think about because we're okay with it.
Mhm.
I'm not saying
There's
that's a good thing. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it is.
Yeah. There are acceptable compromises that people
Uh,
accept.
I
Uh,
disagree with that to some degree, but when it
I
comes to
understand.
government, I don't necessarily think that it should be a thing in general. But
Hey there, Joe. Have a good one.
thanks for
Uh,
being here, Joe. Have a nice evening.
but yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where, um, it's sort of like with all the stuff of like people wanting the taxes and all that to change and all that stuff, but um the issue still becomes is that if people want real change, then they have to start being able to do it rather than relying on a supposed government to make that change. Because we already see what happens when you give too much power to one side, sort of thing.
Oh, and you
'Cause-
give the power to the government, period. It doesn't matter which side you say you're giving it to.
Mm,
Anytime you give power to the government, the thing you have to ask yourself is, do I want the person I hate the most to have this power? Because you're giving it, eventually the person you hate the most is going to have that power.
mhm. And Sacred says, I knew I got to get up early. Love the avatar.
Thank
By the
you.
way, invest you right on that, but when I can go to work and say stuff that would get me banned on most platforms, it makes me ponder.
Yeah.
Almost always makes you popular, but that's a different story altogether.
I mean, maybe it does make him popular at work for all
That's
we know.
that's true. You run your mouth. Happy hump day. Hey, Neuro, how you doing? Happy hump day. I don't think putting at everyone says for everyone. So there's that. Oh, thank you. But yeah, I just
I do like bacon.
yes, I do. Oh, and then bacon. I've had it. So funny thing is that there's a restaurant here. That is very. It's sort of like not high, but it's sort of high style restaurant, and they serve these bison bites, which is just basically bison, like bison meat wrapped in bacon.
Mhm.
Oh man, and it has like green onions in the center of it. Oof.
Oh, that sounds good.
Oh man.
I use VTube Studio,
VTube Studio,
Sacred.
yeah. Yep, VTube Studio. Yeah, because I've seen that same background before, and there's another gentleman who uses it for his stuff. His name is Kaiju or a con. No, um, yeah, it's Kaiju, and yeah, he.
It's one of the defaults um with
Yeah,
the studio. So
there you go. It's one of their main backdrop things, but it is a nice backdrop
yeah,
regardless for free because it
it's
is free
very
to use.
very soothing,
Yeah.
and the program itself is pretty inexpensive. So
Yeah. But you don't you you probably stay away from saying "ooh" with
I
that.
am not a big uwu person. That was not my thing.
She
No.
she said, "I got her to say it, chat." There you go.
Yeah, that's the best uwu you're getting out of me.
That's right. That's all I can give. Thanks. I was tampering with making an avatar versus my ugly mug. Yeah, I understand.
Now if you have a little bit of money to spend, I got
Mhm.
mine through a website called myvtuber.com,
Oh,
and it was worth the money in my opinion. Much it was cheaper than going for a lot of these people who are independent on X and everything, and
oh,
or on VGen or any of
mhm,
those places. But at the same time, it's still not the least expensive option out there. But
mhm,
they did a good job. You get basically unlimited editing until you're happy, kind of shit, as
mhm.
opposed to so many of them are just like you get one revision. I'm like, but I have more problems than just one revision.
Yeah,
Uh, it's definitely worth looking at if that's what the direction you're talking about going.
yeah. And Killer Games, you're welcome. Just think of it: bison meat wrapped in bacon with some green onions in the center. I bet you. Oh, actually, hold on. I actually have. Hold on. I have a picture of what I'm talking about. Just give me a minute. Give me a second, and I'll show you. Where did I have it? Let's see. Nope. 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 Oh, there. No, that's nope. That's not what. There we go. There we go. Oh, I gotta brighten it up a bit. One second. There you go. That's what they look like from the
No, those
restaurant.
are good.
Yeah. So you got that. So you got it's like a glaze on it, and then you got the back bacon on the outside, and then you got the green onion in the center of it, and then the bison meat is in between that with the between the bacon and the green onion. So yeah, and you get like 8 of them, but I can't remember how much it cost. It was quite a while ago, but yeah, it's it was delicious though, expensive, but it was delicious. Uh, Gotta pay for that, goodness. I'm
Good
pretty
food
sure.
tends to be expensive. Yeah.
Yes, it is. I'm pretty sure I can rig my own avatar. It's the other designs, etc. Yeah, understandable. And it's 3D design is crazy too, but not just 3D design, but rigging.
Oh,
Rigging.
rigging is insane.
Oh, even doing with the OBS outro and intros. Yeah, that's something. All right, see you later, Sacred. Have a good night. Um,
Night.
but yeah, that is. I would hear about those stories like, cause the one big thing about being on X News is that there are times you get people asking like, they don't say it right off the bat, right? They don't say it up front, but they're really in truth they're asking for a commission, right?
Hmm.
You get some of those, and you just like, I don't No, I don't, and I do it in DMs. Like, all right, well, I know what it is. I can see it from a mile away, and I'm just like, all right, I'll entertain it for a bit and see where it goes. And then when I hit that point, I'm like, I'm not looking for any commissions. And then I had one was like, well, why not? And it's like, I don't have money. I'm not interested in any commissions, and that usually resolves it. But sometimes you have to be a little stern. But
Yeah, I've stopped. If I suspect the person in my DMs is just trying to message me to offer me a commission, I don't even respond anymore.
it was it was gonna be for $1, Amorata.
Now, I've got a couple artists. If you do the rigging, maybe we need to talk because I could use some better rigging.
Well, it sounds like
The
it
fucking
sounds
rigging is insane.
yeah, it sounds like he's partly there. I don't know if how good his skills are, but yeah, you gotta be a person to talk to, and just people your AI. There you go. That's it. So easy. It's probably could be true, to be honest. Um, but yeah, I was listening to some of the stuff, and some of those people out there, some of them charge like up to like 5 digits.
Oh yeah, no, I
Oh,
mean there are riggers out there who will do it for $8,000 for, and that's just rigging for some of them. I mean,
ugh,
it can cost you anywhere between 1,000 to a couple thousand without
mm,
even blinking. It's insane.
wow. No, what did you do your own, or did you have some help?
No, no,
Okay.
I went to a website and they only cost me $745 for the whole thing. It
Oof.
was not that bad.
Oof, that is not that bad, but still, I mean, that's like a big chunk of a car payment, is all I'm saying.
Hmm.
All right. It's putting a lot in for a return investment, so to speak. But
I mean, I've probably made the money back off of it gradually over time, not like all at once or anything. Like, obviously, I'm not making a living off of it, but for what I do with it, it was worth the investment.
yeah, because I remember, I don't think, I think the first time you came out, I didn't think you had any rigging it. It was just a
I know.
PNG.
Well, I may have just used my PNG. I think the last time I came on, I had to use the PNG because I couldn't get the camera to pick up.
Oh yeah,
It wasn't
yeah,
working.
yeah. But yeah, no, those, as you said, it's quite expensive for all that stuff. But
Hmm.
I've never been interested in that. I mean, yes, you do have the stuff like Hololive and all that. That's pretty good. But yeah, I think for that section of VTubing, like I think being independent is much better than being with a corporation. Although there are pluses with being a corporation, but
I
eh,
mean, the plus sides of being with a corporation is you have someone to do your editing, you have someone to do clipping, you have people who you don't have to worry about finding the people on your own to make your assets. They have people who do that for you,
mm,
and you just pay them a portion of what you make out of that. But
mm,
that's the hard part. I don't. My issue is they always want to limit what you can talk about and who you
yeah,
talk to, and that's not it for me.
yeah.
I can't do that.
Yeah, and obviously you wouldn't be horror Amorata without your ability to say "f you all" at a certain point, right?
Yeah, yeah. At some point, I just have to be allowed to tell everybody to go the fuck away.
I, I wait. I wait today to hear. I wait the day I get to hear that while you're live streaming. F you all! I'm done for the day. Get the f out.
You know what? We're done. Good the fucking bye. Yeah, no, yeah.
We're just sitting there like, wow, she really dropped that bomb pretty quick. Goodness sake. Oh my lord. But yeah, I like you. I enjoy doing it, and everything's really a byproduct of doing the thing.
Hmm.
Because I know you play. I've seen you play like D&D games. Obviously, there was that
Hmm.
one. So you're more of a D&D type of person, but
Well, not.
uh,
I mean, I play a lot of games. I like D&D. I play role playing games. I've played shooters. I like survival games. I play video games. Is the best. I mean, I play games. I like
mhm.
gaming.
What was the last? What are you currently playing then?
I just started Hell Is Us on Monday. It's a game that's technically an early release right now, but it's kind of a Souls-like-ish investigation game, kind of, but not really. I mean, the combat has some dodging and some parrying, but it's not like the mass focus of the game. And then you kind of wander a semi-open world and discover the crap going on in the game. A little bit of scary stuff going on in it.
Yeah. Well, actually, there was a game. I bought it recently, but I haven't played it in a while. It's called. Let me give you 1 second. It's called Another Crab's Treasure, and it's very Souls-like, but it's very cartoonish sort of thing, and it's underwater, obviously. So if you like being a crab underwater, so there you go.
Yeah, I've heard of that one. That one looks funny.
Yeah, no, I've played it and it's pretty well, but man, I am I probably enjoy it better than Elden Ring because I have not touched that thing in over a year, and I think I'm good with that. I think I don't want to touch Elden Ring ever again, but it's just it really is a drag at a certain point. Like you're farming and doing all this stuff, like ugh. But yeah, the crab one I've played. I did buy Stellar Blade a while back, but I haven't even touched that in ages.
Yeah, I haven't even bought that one. I don't know that I will. I might eventually.
Yeah, it really is the time. It really is a time of just having the time to play a game because between my full-time job, between this, there really isn't much time, and you're sort of just left with little time for yourself. And like, do I really want to play a game? Do I want to do something else? And sometimes I'd rather not play a game at all. But it is nice to be able to play something once in a blue moon. Like, there was a game that was done a while back. It was called. This is a game. What was it? It was called. This is a game for. Oh, it's called A Game About Digging a Hole. It was like.
Yeah.
Oh, you played that one already?
No, I haven't played it. I just saw about it. It looks hilarious.
Yeah, it was basically like $5 on Steam, and I was like, sure, why not? Because obviously I saw a content creator play it for a little bit, but then I went to play it for myself, and basically, I mean, the game is basically that, but there's a few other things that go with it too. But yeah, I say for $5, it's pretty worth its weight in gold, to be honest.
Yeah, it looks hilarious.
And then a Malay game says, I'm playing through the new Prince of Persia right now. I recommend it. Oh, okay. I didn't know they made another new Prince of Persia, to be honest. I was I only knew of the PSP games back in the day, but that shows you how old I am.
Yeah, they just released it a couple days ago. They let Ubisoft let a different developer handle it. So I'm glad to hear that it's turning out okay. I don't know. I'm an old school Prince of Persia person, so I would need to know if it has the same kind of parkour wall climbing stuff that the original did.
Did you ever go see that movie though?
No, I don't think. If I've seen it, I put it out of my mind.
Yeah, it had.
I can't remember watching it.
It had Ben Kingsley and Jake Gyllenhaal in it, but that was a long time ago. But yeah, I don't know if it was the greatest movie in the world, but they did make a movie out of the game, so there is that. But anyway, it is. Before I go further, it is the top of the hour, and of course, that means is I set aside some time for me and my guests to promote our stuff. You know, I put the links and all that. So 1 second. I'm gonna find. There we are. But anyway, if you want to do your thing, Miss Amorata, the floor is yours.
Well, you can mostly find me on right now. You can mostly find me on my streaming channel where I stream mostly Thursdays. I'm trying to work into doing Saturdays, Sundays, and Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Yes, that's basically what I'm trying to work into doing at this point in time. I also do the Offensive Charm podcast with my friend Jazz, and we go back and forth between having our two friends, Asta and Mr. E-Bear, on,
Oh,
and then having a guest every other week,
hmm.
which is a good time. You know, I like hanging out with them. Jazz is fun. We actually had my mother on as a guest last night, which was fun.
What?
She's an interesting person to have a discussion with, especially as her daughter.
Yeah.
On the podcast with her, that's always, it's either we're fighting each other or we're teaming up against whoever we're talking to. There really is no in between on that.
All right.
Um,
I'm waiting for her to say, "Oh, did you see her little baby pictures? Let me put them all right now, Mom, put them away."
yeah, no, thankfully not something that I ever have to worry about. She doesn't do that kind of thing to me.
Well,
So
that's good. But no, that is pretty funny. You bring your parent on. It's like, no, Mom, we're not talking about that. Come on, please, no, anything else but that, Mom. Something else, please. Um, but it's nice that at least that you have, um, it's nice to be able to do something with them.
yeah,
So, mm, but yeah, all her links are, well, actually, obviously, it's her link tree, so all of her links to all the places she's at is in there.
I really need to go through and fix that. I think I need to adjust a little. But yeah, they're all in there for the most part.
Yeah, yeah, and I guess people would probably find you better on X or something like that for like whatever if they wanted to communicate
You
with
know,
us.
I'm pretty constantly posting my thoughts on X. That's at H Amorata over there. Basically, whatever pops into my head or whatever I feel like dealing with for the moment ends up on there somewhere. I occasionally yell at people or just grouse or post the food I'm cooking. You know, it's just whatever's going on in my head at the moment.
There you
Uh,
go.
but that's if you want a more consistent daily basis sort of thing going on there.
Hmm. And she, yeah, and you can find her there. Yeah, I think I've seen you post some of your food. I can't remember the last one you did though for food wise, but
I think I posted something not too long ago,
mhm.
but I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, that talk to a ballpark here. But yeah, again, her links are all in that link tree. Obviously, for me, it's probably the best way to go because there are a lot of people with a lot of links, and it's like, yeah, having it in one link to go to the place that's all the links is much better than just posting all your links in the description. It gets wally after a while. Just
Yeah, yeah. I try not to do that to people. There's too many links. I'm everywhere. You can. I mean, I'm here on Rumble, obviously, and then I'm on Odyssey, and I'm on YouTube, and I'm on Kick. The only place I'm really not is Twitch because fuck Twitch.
oh man, no, I'm gonna have to ask about that one. But and Nightmare says, "Well, I've never seen another scary VTuber before." Well, she's not scary. I mean, she is a cute, cutesy sort of thing to her, but she still is a bit, she'll drive you mad with insanity, but there's a cutesiness to it. Um, hey, how you doing, Thomas? How are you? But again, those that will be on both Rumble and YouTube, so you can find it there, and check her out. And if she's worth a follow, why not? Right? Why not? Because I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, go follow this person. Because really, I'd rather the person's work speak for itself rather than me speaking for it.
No, I
Um,
highly recommend you just stop by and hang out. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, that's cool.
yeah, she is go with the flow type of person, and or she sometimes may be an IDGAF person. So there you go. But for my end of things, whether I gotta copy paste stuff. All right, hold on. Uh, well, I can't hold more than one copy paste sort of thing, so there's that. Um,
That's why I usually open a little notepad and then I put what I'm copy pasting in there.
I'll just go to my link tree next time. Or well, actually, I do have it in the notepad. I just for at least for mine. But anyway, whether you're on the Rumble side or the YouTube side, doesn't matter which side you're on because I do stream to both. If you wouldn't mind leaving a like, sharing the content, leaving a comment or follow, I'd probably do it like an Oliver Twist. Please, sir, will I have some more likes? Get back in line, twist. But any help with the engagement factor is much appreciated because not only does it help in being seen more, like all content creators want to be. Let's be honest here. It
Yeah,
also helps. It also helps in having other people on, like Amorata, which is the third time on. So congratulations.
thank
Um,
you.
And then a Malay K has been on a few times. Obviously, lovely as well. Although she is uh, very IDGAF type of person. So there's
Yeah, she's fun.
that. Let's see. Joe's been on. I've had Tom be on before. I've had DJ Smoo on before. So
Hmm,
there's that. Yeah, he's been on before. But he's not the only German I've had on. So there you go.
nice.
Um, yeah. But regardless, any help with the engagement factor, just on either end just helps because again, I've had on over 260 various guests. And it's been a great treasure in itself because of all not only all the different perspectives, but just all the different viewpoints of what one sees in the life end. Because I don't know what Amorata's daily life is like. I don't know what she sees as a Cthulhu person in Montana. I
You
just
don't want to know.
it's
It's scary.
enslaving only works so much. But it's still it's wonderful get to hear and get to talk to her, just like with her husband Sheep, who I've had on before. It's always nice to get to hear people's different perspectives because that's what life's all about. You know, you get to hear different perspectives. You kind of get to get over your own personal bias, which is part of why I do this as well. And yeah, and just improve that skill. So thank you all for that. And of course, okay, go all the way bottom. Um, where's that? Oh, nope, that's not it. Of course, I made a mistake. I know. All right. Um, but this is my link tree as well. It has my Twitter X in it. It has my email in it. It has a link to Discord in it, but it's not really a server. It's more of just like being able to DM because I don't have enough mental bandwidth for all that stuff.
Mm.
Listen, I get it. A lot of people out there are making Discord servers and whatnot, but man, oh man, when you work a full time job and you do this for fun, the more work you put on yourself, the worse it gets to want to do this thing. So yeah, I'm not gonna do that. But yes, all my stuff is there. Just quick hello as I'm about to. All right, well, have a good one, Demi and crew. I'll try to stop by later, but I hope you guys have a good one. Um, it's Oh, and what does Tom say? Oh, wait, Darren, how many times have I told you not to summon creatures from the depths? And here I can. She's probably one of the best ones to summon. All right, like that's probably the best it is. There are others that are worse. She's one of the better ones.
Just
Um,
costs you a cup of coffee. That's all.
See, that's like the easiest sacrifice to give. Look, here's a bag of cocoa, chocolate covered coffee beans. Have at it. Um, but anyway, oh yeah, that's right. One more thing I do. One of it is that obviously I am still in Rumble's creative program, but I'm not interested in doing all the requirements, just the ones that come naturally with what I do. But I also I applied to be in Proton's partner program. So if you haven't heard of
Nope.
what Proton is, they're the Proton Mail, Proton VPN, Proton Pass, all sorts of stuff. And it was earlier this year that it was on X, and they were promoting that. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll go in and try it because it's like I've got nothing left to lose. I got nothing to lose, so why not?
Hmm.
Um, so I went in and tried for it. You know, I filled out their documents and stuff. You know how that goes. And then like it was like I think it was like 24 to 40 hours later, I get an email back saying you're in. I'm like, are you sure about that? Because I was like, really? But so I've been in it
Is that really
since.
what you want?
Yeah, yeah, because usually when you have like these things like Razor or whatever, they're like people, they want big numbers, they want you to sell their product or whatnot. And for me, or coffee, right? You have coffee ones too, but for me, it was like I use Proton on the daily, like I use Proton Mail, I use the whole suite of stuff that they have.
Yeah, I use
And
them too. I like them.
do you just use a few of them, or do you use like the whole
Oh
ordeal?
no, I have the whole thing. I use
Okay, so
all of it.
you have Proton Unlimited then.
Yeah.
um but
Actually, I'm one of the visionary
nice.
subscribers.
Nice. Yeah, I've been in since I think like 2018, 2019, somewhere around there. I have to relook. It's been a long time. But anyway, I promote it as like a benefit to all because I use it and I get the benefit. So this one I'm promoting is the Proton Nope, that's the wrong one. I apologize. There we go. Uh, this I promote this as a benefit. This is Proton Pass. This is Proton's password manager. I use it on the daily. Again, I
Mhm.
can make money off it, but it's really just about promoting a benefit. I believe if you go to that link, you'll get a discount for it, like half off or something like that. But for me, at the end of the day, it's just about promoting this benefit that has, it has like 2FA integrated in with it. It has the ability to use an alias email integrated with it and all that stuff. Oh, Nightmare has a business account with Proton. Well, look at that. Fancy man. Um, but again, whether if you look at it and it works for you, that's great. If you look at it and it doesn't, that's fine too. Again, it's no skin off my back. It really is your promotional benefit. And Amorata, what's been your experience with Proton since you use it?
I really like it. Especially the password um, thing, because I use it on everything. The fact that I have so many options with uh, making the password. You can use memorable passwords. You can
Yep.
use randomly generated passwords. You can change up how long they are, how short they are. It'll tell you if it's a weak password. It'll tell you if it's a strong password.
Great.
And you can use it on your phone. You can use it on your computer. You can use it just about everywhere.
Hmm.
And then I use the email, which is also great because I have the one email and then I have two separate ones split out for other like for my business stuff and for my personal stuff. And then if you go onto a website and you don't want to put your real email in there, you can have it actually make up an email for you,
Yeah.
so you don't have to give them your real email address, and it'll shuffle that off to one side. I was literally just in it the other day going through and getting rid of all the spam mail I don't like and unsubscribing to bullshit, and they
Hmm.
have a nice little window in there that's great for that. I haven't used the VPN a whole lot, but
Yeah.
it exists. So
Yeah.
there is that for people who like to use VPNs. Um, and then I also have the Proton Drive,
Oh yeah.
which I haven't gotten too comfortable with that yet, but I'm hoping that I will figure it out to the point that I can then ditch OneDrive and use that instead.
Yeah.
Would be nice, but it's really a nice set of programs that they have, and they're very, very into protecting your identity, end-to-end encryption and all that fun stuff. So
Yeah. And they also have like I think it's called Sentinel, where they actually scan like the dark web to see if your stuff has been, because you hear those stories, right? Like I think there was one recent, like earlier this year, where some business had gotten, cracked into, and people's passwords and stuff had been brought out. And so you do have that sort of scenario where people have to change their passwords. But with Proton Pass, it's basically just it will let you know if your password's been hit or whatnot. And it really is a great service. Again, I think the mail and the VPN are free to use, but the other ones are not. But I do know that, because because I'm in the Proton Unlimited and Amorata is too. You do, if you're in the Proton Unlimited for your Proton drive, you get at least, I believe it's 10 gigs per year. You're always in it.
mhm.
And that's been a nice bonus. Like, you get that every year, and it's like extra 10 gigs. I think I'm over half. I think I'm at least a little past half a terabyte. At least over 500 gigs.
Yeah, I'd have to check how much I have. I haven't even looked, but it's nice to know that I have that. If I needed to literally back everything up, I could probably just stick it on there.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and they also have calendar. They actually,
Oh
it's
yeah,
funny
they do
enough,
have calendar. I use calendar.
they actually came out. I think it was a month or two ago, with their own authenticator app, which is free for
Mm.
everyone to use, of course. But it basically is, again, they have two FA inside the password manager, but this one is sort of like, it just shows you the numbers of whatever, so you can type them in and whatnot, like for your 2FA. Because of course, Rumble just came out, I think, what was it, a month or two ago, with their own 2FA sort of thing. So it's always good to have that extra bit, because, like we were talking about earlier, and there's also a group called Scammer Payback, if no one's heard of them. There is real danger out there with scammers, and mostly it's just older people, and you hear those stories, and it's sad. but using at least for my end, using Proton is a great help with that because I can't tell you how many times I've seen, and it's and also it's just good to know what a spam mail looks like to a degree,
Hmm.
because I think there was one I got where it was like they were trying to tell me about my YouTube and trying to like we can raise your numbers and stuff like that. Look, if someone is emailing you about wanting to raise your viewing numbers and whatnot, just off the bat, just assume it's spam because
Yeah.
yeah. As MFA, well, yeah, they have the 2FA and the uh, Proton Pass. I'm gonna have to bring up. Hold on. Proton. Nope, that's not an R. Proton. Off. And yeah, it's sort of like when Google has their own authenticator. Here we go. I think give me 1 second. 1 second. Do not redeem, sorry. Exactly. Yep. All right, here you go. This is what I'm talking about. They came out with this recently, probably a month or so ago. And it basically is, open source, available on every device, secure sync. Now, obviously, it's free for everyone to use, so this is not like you have to have Proton Limited or buy it, but I've been using it. It's kind of nice to have without having to go into the Proton Pass app itself. So, but this one is just recent. And they also have another one too. It's called Lumo. I don't know if you've heard of that one yet.
Mm-mm.
It's the what is it? It's the Lumo is their chatty AI privacy sort of thing. Here you go. Oops. Better get off this. So here's Lumo. This is their new thing as well, where you can say anything in confidence, that sort of thing. So that was new too. But it's funny they have a cat as their mascot for that. But yeah, they have a lot of great things to try. Um, uh, Assword 69. Wow, that was a great password until now. I know about the Proton Authenticator. I thought you said Rumble added. Yes, there is a two-factor authentication for Rumble now. They just added it like I think a less than a month ago. So you just have to go to like your security. 1 second. I think it's the security tab. Let's see. Moderation. It's in. No, I don't think it's in that. Oh, there we go. Security. Here we go. Boom. It's in the security tab in the back end, and you have this two-factor authentication right there. So they do have that now. There you go. Now you know.
Nice.
It's in the security tab. So you go to your back end, you go to account settings, and then it's security, the last one on the bottom. So I know that's always a big thing nowadays because again, yeah, it is. It is their sort of chat GPT thing, but it's more privacy focused. Again, Proton is privacy focused. But
Hmm.
yeah, it's always nice to have that because even I mean, again, you hear those horror stories of scammers and stuff, and it is prevalent out there. Have you gotten like there's the texts, there's
Oh
the
yeah.
phone call, the robo phone calls? It is ridiculous, and the majority of all this stuff happens in India.
Yeah, it's freaky.
It's insane. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I'm glad to let you know. Yeah, if you're on Rumble, you have that opportunity. I would set that now, but I would also make sure you have something to remember your password because uh, with Proton Pass, I don't have to worry about remembering all my passwords. I just have to remember to get into Proton Pass.
Yeah.
So I made an easy one for that. Hey, Dual Helix, what up? You get calls from Mr. Likely too? What? No. Well, he's more like Mr. Dave, except he sounds very Indian when he says that. There's that.
His name
But
is Steve, but you're pretty sure his name's not Steve.
oh, I've got a story. I was so obviously, uh Mr. Scam likely, yes. Do Helix. Well, there's a story of where I was. So I was on Boost Mobile, and if people don't know, Boost Mobile was with Sprint, but Sprint got bought out by T-Mobile.
Hmm.
So Boost Mobile, not Boost Mobile, it was Virgin Mobile. Sorry, it was Virgin Mobile, and they still had that going separately, even though it was under the Sprint umbrella, which was now under the T-Mobile umbrella, and so um I was wanting to go to T-Mobile because obviously they just had better deals. Like I could pay $50 a month to get all the data I want. And even if I went over that data cap, I would slow down a bit, but it wouldn't be noticeable. With
Hmm.
Virtual Mobile, it was noticeable.
Oh.
Yeah, it was noticeable. It's like I went over the cap, and like, wait, why is it taking so long? Yeah, it happens. But then again, of course, it's like the 5G part of it because I was on, I think it was 4G is what I was still on. So 5G was next step. And I get people don't like Apple to some degree. So I understand, but I do like using this stuff because it's just flick flick done. It really is.
Hmm.
It's easy to use. Plus I bought the what this is called the Red Product Red, which is the only one
Oh.
that's yeah, it's called Product Red. It's the only iPhone that they have that's red. Other times like gray or silver or whatever. So I really wanted to buy that, but in order to get out of that, I had to go through that whole process on the phone. It's like I need my uh account routing number or whatever it was to be able to give to T-Mobile so that I can switch my plan over to T-Mobile instead of and they will put you through a ringer
Hmm.
just so you will be like, "Hey, well," and it's again, it's Indian people, "We'll give you a discount. We'll give you this, and this, and this," and, like and then they'll put you through the product of trying to wait and all this stuff, and it's just like,
Hmm.
I just look, give me the routing number. We're done. I don't care about you guys anymore. I've paid my bill due. I want to get out. But they will make it difficult for you to get out. It's insane.
No, they don't
And
want to lose it. Yeah.
yeah, it was like because it was at one point, it was a lady I was talking to, and it was like I probably on the phone for I was probably on the phone for over an hour, and at one point she's like, "We will give you next month for half off." I was like, "That's great, but I don't want Virgin Mobile anymore. I want to be on T-Mobile." So get I just like please just at a certain point it's just like torture. It's like, "Let me go. I don't care. You got other people. Just let me go." It was not a fun time. Um, apologize for my stars. Yeah, you're fine. Nightmare says it really is nice that T-Mobile got the other providers to actually compete. Yeah, because they bought some of the other providers.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's insane. I have a product red phone. Yeah, well, the color red is my favorite, and it's just really no way of getting the color red on iPhone unless you buy product red. And I did it for a deal though because I bought it off their website. Like, well, it still cost me a little over $500, but it was still worth it for me because, yeah. Um, so you just have to do what it is. Hey, Goonie, what up? What up, my man? What's going on? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us. Apple's easy to use until you try to leave. Well, now I heard it's going to be just as difficult for Google if you try to leave. Like I heard that
Yeah.
they're closing that up, and I'm like, wow, don't go messing with Google now. She's Louise. Because I think the news is like you can't even sideload stuff anymore or whatever. Because I think that's why people
That's what
mostly
they're trying to make it. Yeah. So that you can't sideload stuff. And I'm at the point where it's like, maybe I'll just start looking for something else. I don't know
yeah.
what, but I hate when people try to tell me what to do with the stuff I own. It irritates me.
Never tell the Amorata what to do. She will scratch your eyes out. Um,
God,
uh,
I wish.
well, you probably would more like stab their eyes out, but we don't want to
That
go.
would also be that would be acceptable. I would happily do that as well.
Is that a spork? Ah! Easier to scoop out your eyes.
Hmm.
Apple's easy to use until you try to leave. Well, yes, it's understandable, but I mean, at a point, I mean, there's going to be two factions. You either want total control of your stuff, which isn't really total control on either end, because I'm pretty sure Google still uses your stuff to a degree. Um, but I mean, it's just preference choice at a certain point. And there are some very big fanboys on either end. Like, don't get me wrong, Apple has its as much as Google has its, but it comes with the territory of pretty much almost anything in this world. Yep, everyone outsources support now. Yeah, especially when they can make more money over in India and all this stuff, or they don't pay less in India.
Spend less money. Yeah.
Yeah, probably means more to them over in India because 10 cents for them is probably $100. Um, so redeem the discounts are goodness sake. Nightmare. Android still has open source options like Lineage, which is what I use. I heard there was a thing on Twitter X where I saw something about Graphene OS.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I saw about that. Problem is that means I have to go into my phone and I have to install a whole new OS on my phone. As it is, I'm already looking at start installing a whole new OS on my computer because I really don't want to go to Windows 11. But
right.
such a
Yeah,
pain in the ass.
yeah, it's understandable, but I mean, I as far as I know, Linux has not made it sort of they've done the GUI and stuff, which is great, but Linux really hasn't made it easy to use like people sort of what people are used to with Windows in
I
that.
mean, there is ones out there that are pretty simple to use. The problem is they don't come pre-installed, so you have to go in and install them. Now, how difficult that is depends on which build you're using and how much you really want to get into it. Some of it can be really easy, others is really hard. But I mean, it's all about how much you want to really fight
Yeah.
with it. Um,
And
Yeah, I need to find that nightmare. That's something I've been looking for a while. Well, not looking for. I know it exists. I just haven't sat down and done it. But part of me kind of just wants to switch to a Linux build just because then I don't have to worry about the whole bullshit with Windows anymore. Anyway, the problem is then you have the whole issue with gaming and the DRM issues, and I really wish that they would come out with something that would integrate a little better.
I think I think to that degree, I think Steam has the answer, but it's mostly through their Steam Deck. Because that's
That's not it. It's not made quite for being used on computers yet.
yeah, which is understandable. But I do see that. I do see a time where people are being able to take their computers around with them because I mean with gaming, right? It used to be a stationary console with wired cables and all that stuff, and now you can take something like the Switch with you. You can still dock it and still show it on screen, of course, but right now, gaming in itself is mobile, especially your phone, right? You can game on your phone and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But like with computers, I think one day there will just be sort of like, you may have like a stylus, but it may be in the possession of, Steam or whatever.
I mean, some things are fine to be used on something the size of a phone, but there are some things it's definitely better to have the larger experience for.
Yeah.
So, I think there will always be multiple products that we're using in different ways.
Mm-hmm. And Nemesis says Linux works all right, but it doesn't always work for more. Well, my thing with Linux stuff is that most of the stuff out there, it is not user friendly, and that's the issue, right? It's more tech. It's more like people want to get in depth in tech. It's sort of like the Android stuff. You want to get a little more in depth with it and do more with it and all that stuff. But for people like the regular day people at home or whatever, it's not really a selling point because it's just it's just not that usability simplicity, if that makes sense. And people are going to go where it's easy to use, and same with almost anything. um, Linux Mint is really easy and their support forums are actual nerds. Well, no, I'm not going to say sign me up. Proton is good and can be used on desktop fine. Yeah, I use the desktop version. I use the iOS version. It's great all around. Um, What?
Huh?
No, I thought you were gonna say something. Never mind.
Oh, no.
No.
Okay.
It doesn't cover everything though. Okay, understandable. I think Steam is coming out with their own as soon. So hopefully that'll be something to get. Well, I mean, technically, the Steam OS they do have. It's just not on a desktop OS sort of thing yet.
Well, it's not really set up to be used on a desktop. Is its biggest problem.
Yeah, there's that. Proton is the Steam compatibility layer. Oh, okay.
I mean, my big thing is I am, and it's pathetic. I know I'm still stuck using a lot of Adobe products, and I know they don't get along well with Linux, and that's just one of those things I have to figure it out. I either have to move away, and I don't want to because I have to relearn. I've tried to look at things like DaVinci and stuff for editing, and I don't like the workflows as much. And that's the hard part is that I'm old and I don't want to learn new things.
Well, I mean, are you talking like editing videos, or are you talking like your thumbnails and all that stuff? What are you talking?
Both. I mean, all of it, really.
Okay. Because I have DaVinci, but I haven't used it. But like stuff that's non-video stuff, I usually use like Canva to do like, making a thumbnail or whatnot. But yeah, I don't see a combination tool out there that's like that so far.
Yeah.
But I have never used Photoshop, but I do remember Photoshop a long while back had that issue where like they charge you to get out of their plans. So
I used GIMP for a long time, once upon a time. GIMP's pretty good. GIMP's not bad. My problem is specifically with video editing. Premiere Pro is just very, it does everything I want it to do and the way I want it to do it, which is the hard part.
Yeah. When you're so used to it, it's sort of like earlier with Rumble, it's hard to get out of that using that thing you're so used to. Dual Helix says I got one of these newfangled mini computers and I'm planning to try to install Steam OS as a dual boot. Oh, interesting. Well, let us know how that goes. It takes some getting used to. Yeah, it does. And that's the issue. Some people don't want to put in the time for that. Linux Mint is pretty user friendly. Well, I'll look into that and see, because as far as I know, Ubuntu is the one that has like all the GUI stuff. Because Linux is usually more a command prompt sort of type of OS, where Unix has not been to some degree, or you can use it more without. DaVinci is great. I use Kden Live. I never heard of that. I just use CapCut. It's free, and I use Clip Studio Paint. You can permanently get a license for Clip Studio worth it. I've heard of Clip Studio Paint, but I've never used it. So CapCut I've seen, but if I'm making shorts, right, because shorts for YouTube, I really haven't found anything quite like Opus Clips. There's just not. It's just kind of difficult to find something that's as close as possible what Opus Clips can do, and that's the sucky part, right? You want to move from this big main one, but you can't really find something that's of similar value. If you do, it's missing one piece here, missing another piece there. So it's really not too much of a direct competition. It's more like sidelining with a few missing steps, if that makes sense.
My problem is with Premiere Pro, the one thing it does that the others don't is it will actually do an entire transcript of my video, and then I can edit directly from the transcript. Like I can click in there and delete the dead space. Or if I see that I can track where the words are and then click in between them and get rid of that section, as opposed to having to fiddle with the actual line. And I tried DaVinci, and DaVinci doesn't work like that. And it's just that specific workflow works so well for my brain that I'm kind of stuck. I'm stuck.
It's because I can understand. So you put like, is it, or do you make shorts out of it, or is it just like through the whole?
When I make an actual video for the video channel, I haven't done one in a while, but when I do, I sit down and I talk about whatever in the world I'm talking about, and then I actually record in OBS, and then I pull it into Premiere Pro, and then Premiere Pro pulls the audio and does a written transcript.
Okay.
And, two button clicks and I've gotten rid of the 90% of my ums and most of the dead space, as opposed to having to go through and edit it out by hand. And then I listen through and I get rid of any other dead space and clean up anytime I'm not speaking clearly, or get rid of any spaces that I don't want. And then it's done, as opposed to, doing it the other way.
Yeah, for open Opus clips, they kind of do that. The only problem is that you have to pay for credits time wise, which I don't think you have to do. But I mean, you still have to pay for like a subscription to Premium Pro for that.
Yeah, that's the problem, is the subscription, and they keep getting pricier, unfortunately.
Yeah, I got grandfathered in for mine because right now the price for what I'm using is $15, but I still have it at 9, so there's that.
Nice.
So there was a point of period where I wasn't using it at all, and then I was like, I went to go see what it would cost to re-sign up again, and it's actually like 15 a month. I'm like, oh man, and I was like looking at my $9, like I'd be wasting $9, but imagine 15 a month. So it's like I've been holding on to that grandfathered price for so long, and I'm just like, I don't know if I need to get into it now. I need to teach you technology one of these days. Well, I know a few things about technology, but there's just some things you don't want to give up. So you can have that there with email. Well, yeah, the domain email thing, right? That Proton gives, if you have unlimited. But I don't know that. Transcripts. Well, there's a funny thing though. There is a website I found where you can run a um I think it was audio, but there's a place you can run audio through, and they do. There was one place I was using before. I was trying to use Restream. Restream offers free the ability to like put your uh, video through for text and stuff, like to get a transcript text out of it, or you can just take an audio sampling of that and put it through. But the problem was that after a certain point, they actually require you to have a login to have an account, even though they say you don't need to have an account when doing this. So, but I did find another place. It's called what was it? It's called Transcribe, I think it was. TurboScribe. That's right, TurboScribe. And you can just put like an audio through, and it will it does pretty well.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. This is more than just a transcription, though. And like I said,
Yeah.
I tried it on the DaVinci thing, and it wasn't really worth to me trying to get the paid version because I was watching it. And so in Premiere, what it does, so it pulls the thing, it does the transcription. And then when I'm looking at the transcription, if I'm talking and I say, I just start talking and then I say, oops, and switch what I'm saying and go to something else, I can go back. I can, in the transcription, click at that spot right before the oops, and it will then take the cursor in, or the tracker in the timeline on the video, and put it there. So then I can just put the cut there. I can read the transcript, find where I want to do the end of that cut there, delete in between, do a ripple delete so it pulls it together, and that's it. I don't have to listen all the way through that. I can just read through it and not have to worry about it, as opposed to trying to figure out, where exactly does this end.
Yeah.
It really makes it so much faster and easier. I can't even be, especially when I have that tendency. Sometimes I'll go off on a tangent, and then partway through the tangent, I'll stop and realize, I don't really want to include this in the video. So I'll go back to the beginning I'll finish the video, and then I'll go back to the beginning of the tangent, start there, and then at the end of the tangent, hit that and then delete it out, and that's it. And that's all the work I have to do. I don't have to sit there and listen to myself all over again to get to the spot where I'm going to close it off.
I just think you just don't want to listen to yourself.
I hate listening to myself. That's one of the reasons I haven't done videos lately, is that I hate listening to myself. I enjoy doing videos. I don't mind the editing that much, but I don't like my own voice. I hate hearing myself. So if first I have to record the video, and I have to remember everything I'm going to say, and then I have to listen to the video, and then I have to make sure that I've gotten everything out that I wanted out of the video, because sometimes I'll say some stuff that I don't think people really need to hear. You know, I'll edit out dog barking or bullshit,
Mhm.
and it's I don't like listening. It can take an hour. I mean, if I'm doing a 10-minute video, it can take me a fucking hour to get all the way through the video. And then the hard part
Mhm.
is that at the end of it all, I have to make a thumbnail after all that. And that's the part. Thumbnails and titles take me just about as long as editing the video.
It's
I'll edit a 10-minute video and then it'll take me an hour to title and thumbnail.
yeah, I filtered the heck out of it. Yeah, no, I hear ya.
I don't even filter my voice. This is just what I sound like. I hate listening to it. There's nothing else I can do about it. This is what I sound like.
I don't hate it. But no, I can understand in the thumbnail because, like I was saying earlier, I use Canva to make my thumbnail and a few other things too.
Mhm.
But I think within making your thumbnail, I know people are like, "Oh, you gotta make it this. Oh, you gotta do like the YouTube thing where you have your mouth open and all that stuff or whatever." But I'm like, if you don't, first off, if you don't enjoy the process of making a thumbnail, like you just learning about it, playing around with it, whatever, it doesn't have to be perfect. Because I get it, guys. You have to make it look great to attract and all this stuff. I get it. But if you're not enjoying the process of what you do, then this content creator thing gets harder and harder to do every time because you're outsourcing your stuff, which just costs you money off the bat, and some people will cost you a pretty penny. But the point of the matter is, it was like for mine, I found a template that just works for me. That I just and with Canvas tools, right, I can just take out one person's profile pic and put in another, change the date and time and all the stuff to whatever the guest coming up, and then I'm done. Like the template's there, I'm done, I'm good. It takes me about maybe 10 to 15 minutes and I'm out the door. And trying to find that way to make your stuff more efficient for you, like boom, boom, done, like you were talking about with the transcript stuff. You do this thing where it gets to that point and you're like, why would I want to mess up the system and have to take 10, almost 30 to 45 minutes to try to relearn this new system and then just boom, 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 and I think that's where most of us are as we build this efficient system and then someone says, well, you got to pay more for it. You got to pay more for it now or whatever. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I do have a degree in computer science with a concentration in web design. So
ooh,
I know how to use, Photoshop and all that stuff. I don't have any problems with that part.
mhm,
The actual using of the software and everything has been more than easy enough for me. The
mhm,
hard part is just figuring out what I'm actually going to put on the thumbnail. And the
yeah.
most frustrating part is, I'll put together a thumbnail I think looks good, and then I'll show it to my husband, and my husband will look at me like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And then I have to explain the thumbnail to him, and then I realize over the course of explaining the thumbnail to him, the thumbnail I have created probably the regular person won't understand. And at that point I have to go back to the drawing board, and I know that sounds very full of myself, and I apologize for that.
Hmm.
But I know my brain sometimes works in obscure ways that other people just aren't going to get. So I have to go back and
Mhm.
figure out how a normal person looking at this is going to understand what I've done. But I've put together a thumbnail and all that. It's just there's things you have to change depending on what you're trying to get across about your video.
Well, yeah, and I can understand that. Like I don't more majority of the time I don't have to worry about shorts because it's basically like a screen grab. So there's that,
Yeah.
or just regular video because I'm not that too far in depth to it. But just like for my streaming stuff alone, it's just basically simple as you see it. Cause it's
Yeah.
funny. It's funny because that picture is from like a long time ago. You don't even use that picture anymore. But I was like,
No, I
oh,
haven't used it in a while.
it's so cute and stuff. And I was like, oh, I'll use that. I like that one. Um, Oh, and Nightmare says, "You have the computer science autism, Amorata. I have it too."
Yes, I do.
And then
It sucks sometimes.
And then Thomas says, I use DAWs for my audio when I record music, so the methods I do are kind of archaic in comparison when editing. DAWs and video editing are more my speed. Yeah, it's you find what works for you and you keep using it because your process gets faster. You always find those little notches where you can speed up the process. Because because to be honest, it costs money to have anyone else do your stuff. And sometimes they may
Hmm.
not even do it to your liking, and then you have to do that all stuff like you're talking about the VTuber and getting like the revisions and whatnot.
Yep.
But the point of the problem is that you're either spending time or money on the matter of doing what you want to do with this content creators thing. And
Sometimes both, because you have to wait for the other person to do it.
oh yeah, that too. And then that's can be
It's always funny when I get someone emailing me, well, I can do your thumbnails. No, you can't, because unless you're up at 2 in the morning and you're going to have it done, you can't do my thumbnails.
yeah. Yeah. You gotta if you want the money, you've got to be able to work for it. And most of the time, people are like, yeah, you're too hard. It's like, and that's another thing too. Is like this stuff is like, for me when when I did a few commissions, one was like the placeholder video I have on Rumble. Although that went through some revisions. That was done for free by someone who's a great guy. Um, Panda sub for those who don't know. And but like when I was the first video that I had done, I had paid someone to do that commission. It cost me be like cost me like $100 to do.
Hmm.
Um, but it's sort of like uh, it, it does come on that thing where you have to really be careful about that owning it part, right? Because you've seen some of those stories where somebody commission something or whatever, and then you say, okay, they get it and all this stuff, and then they say, oh, I still own the rights to it. And it's like,
Hmm.
I buy it from you. I should own the rights. And that's why I've always been upfront with those people that I did commission was like, if I pay for this, I own all of it, right? Like this is all mine. You got nothing with it. It's all mine. Because
Yeah, you get that in writing is what you do. That's the
yeah,
only way to do it.
yeah. DMs. I have it writing in DMs. But the point of the matter is, you never, ever, ever do any business deal with somebody without some form of writing saying, you own the rights. Once you have paid for it, once money has been transactioned, you own the rights to it. Because I will tell you what, there are people out there, they will play a ball game. Okay,
Hmm.
I've seen it a few times on Twitter X. It's so some of it was VTubers, and it's just like no, no, no. Um, Thomas says you're so right there. I almost going broke. Hey, 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 Thomas. Hey, I know what your real original name was on Rumble though, so don't give me that crap. Um, Nightmare. I get those artist requests sometimes, and I'm like, my streams make no money. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my thing with Twitter. It's like you get these commissioners, and it haven't bothered me in a while, but it's like I can't. Come on, guys. Like, and some of them have a VTuber PFP too. And I'm like, come on. No, no, this is not going to be the way. Sorry.
Hey, I like your streams. Do you want an overlay? Are you kidding me? You're the only person here. Why do you want? Are you just here to for an excuse to look at your own work? Because it's just you and me here, honey. I don't need your overlay. Thank you.
I I like they're the ones that kind of start a conversation with you, right? And you're like, okay, let's see what this goes, because you're not sure, right? Could be someone
Hmm.
being nice, and you could be a time to invite them on the show, whatever. And so you have a conversation with them, and it's just about whatever, and they're sort of giving you nonchalant answers to like to the things you're talking about, and then all of a sudden say, hey, I do this thing. Would you like to see some of my work? I'm like, N no, I'm not interested in commissions. But then I had this one go like, "But why not?" And I'm like, "I don't have money and I'm not interested." And it's just like they stopped after that point, but it's just like you have these people, it's like, "I just said no commissions. What does that mean to you?" It's like, "No, I don't know. No, go away." Oh my gosh. And they follow you and it's just like, oh,
Yeah, following me doesn't mean anything. Just because you follow me doesn't mean we're suddenly friends. No offense to anybody here. It's just you know the way it is.
I know, I get it. But no, but I still enjoy getting to talk to you, Amorata, even though it's been long. I still get enjoy talking to you. You're one of even though you did get a shout out from Neurotics. I mean, come on, let's be honest here.
To be
But
fair, I paid him for those.
oh, man, that's a lot of money. But no, it really, I really do get to enjoy having you back on again because again, it's always nice to catch up and it's always just nice to talk about whatever comes away because
Mm.
I can't do topic centered shows. I can be on them, I can be a part of them, but to be in that sort of field of things, I enjoy this more. It really is where it's at. Nightmare. Nope, that's I already did that one. Do I have to pay extra for those blackmail techniques? Well, it depends on if you want blackmail or a black male. Those are two very different things. You need to be very specific on that. I need,
Technically, you're not supposed to sell the other one.
yeah, that is true. That is very true. Then again, there's not supposed to be any slavery, but we still have human trafficking. Yeah, they show up on like Twitch where nobody else is. Something I've heard Kick has that same issue too, where you have like
Okay.
bots and things. Um,
Yeah, the only reason I stream to Twitch, I swear, is to ban the bots that show up in my chat because God knows people don't.
mm. Then there's
Or X or Kick. Again, I don't stream to Twitch because fuck Twitch.
yeah, but Rumble's had that too. I've seen that a few times as well. But
Yeah, I've had that show up.
yeah, they can be very pushy. Yeah, they can be very pushy. And then I say no. I usually if you say you have no money, that usually walks them off because like I have no money, so bye. And then they kind of leave. But sometimes they do still get pushy. I
I
can do
mean, I say no thank you and then I block them.
there you go. Smart person. I can do topic shows if it's a topic I know about. Well, yeah, that too. Like I know a lot of people when they do topic centered shows, they do topic shows of today, like the 24/7 news sort of cycle sort of thing. But for me, it's like I may have heard about something of that. You maybe have to explain more of to it or whatever. But all that stuff right there, that's just like it really is at a certain point stop. There's uh perspectives and stuff to give that I understand, but I can't it's just not in me to do that sort of thing on my own stuff because this is so much more freeing than that. I can talk about whatever and I'm not tied down by whatever's going on right now. There could be some jackbutt out there making a name for himself by throwing a bunch of M80 firecrackers at somebody and all that stuff. And I'd be like, well, hopefully his hands don't blow off or something like that. I hope it doesn't hurt anyone. He realizes, no, I'm not. Okay, what was it? Oh man, I could remember. I have Twitch auto hide bots. Well, there you go. Look at that. Nightmare is getting smarter every day. Well, he's smart, but still. But anyway, it is getting closer to that top of the hour time, and I think we're gonna start winding down because it's getting that 2 hour mark. But still, topics tomorrow. That shows just me. Well, I mean, again, do what you do what you enjoy. Don't listen to what I say about content creation because I don't want people to think I'm telling them how to do it. I'm just giving my perspective on what I see. And sometimes people agree, sometimes people don't. That's okay. We all live and die accordingly. But again, it is the top of the hour, so what we're going to do is still do promotion stuff, and then a few other things, and then we'll kind of just ride the wave out back into the sea. So there is that. There is the CEO. I'm the chairman. Oh, nightmare. Well, the name fits for that one. I got to go though. Yeah, you too, Thomas. See you later, man. Have a great
Night,
one.
Thomas.
But anyway, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through. I gotta scroll back up to that. Where was it? Nope. Oh, here we go. Uh, I'm gonna use Thomas's. If you want to promote your stuff again, I saw that and was like, I gotta use that.
That's a good one. So yeah, as I said before, you can find me streaming mostly on YouTube. I also stream on Rumble, not Twitch. God damn it! Why do I keep saying Twitch? Fuck Twitch. Rumble, Odyssey, Kick, and X. I stream on all 4 of those platforms as well as Rumble and YouTube. When I do stream, I will be streaming tomorrow night. In fact, if anybody wants to stop by and hang out while I do some Hell Is Us, so that's tomorrow night. I also stream Saturdays and Sundays. On Tuesdays, I am on the Offensive Charm podcast
Mhm.
with my friend Jazz and my friends Asta and Mr. E-Bear will be joining us next week for our normal session, and then every other week we have guests. I don't know who our next guest is. We haven't discussed that yet. But yeah, that's. I mean, I do have a video channel, but I'm not really uploading videos right now. Mostly just doing the streaming thing.
Mhm.
And then if you want to get just like a daily shot of me, you can visit me over on X at H Amorata, where I just post whatever the fuck I feel like talking about that day.
She is an IDGAF person, so there you go. If you want to see all that. But again, her link tree is right there. It'll be on in the description area in both Rumble and YouTube because I do stream to both those places. So there is that. But yeah, all the links and stuff in there. So give it a look. And for my end of things, whether you're on the Rumble side or whether you're YouTube side, because again, I stream to both areas. If you wouldn't mind leaving a like, sharing the content, leaving a comment or follow, anything that helps with the engagement factor is much appreciated because not only does it help in being seen more, like, okay, seriously, all content creators want to be seen to some degree, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And we already talked about that attention thing earlier. It's understandable. But it also helps with having other people on, like Amorata, like Alaska Man Jeff, like Tomby, like DJ Smooth, like so many other people. At the end of the day, I do this thing because I enjoy getting to talk to people of all different perspectives, all different types, creator or not. Because at the end of the day, I can claim I've had on over 260 guests and still bring people back on and still just talk about whatever because I don't even remember what last time we talked about, but we still had fun anyway, and that's the point of it. So any help with engagement on either end is much appreciated. I better find my link too. Oh, nope, not that. Where we are. I gotta scroll back. I gotta scroll back to where it was. Where is it? Oh, oh, no, I don't want to use Thomas's one for mine. Not today, Thomas. And of course, there's my link. That has all my Twitter X, that has my email, that has a link to Discord. But it's mostly just for DMing. I don't have a server, and I don't think I'll ever plan to have one unless it's for something else. It's just too much work, man. It's too much work with all. I have seen some of these content creators that have like these, what is it, the social media kits and stuff, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I can't do this. You post all your followers and stuff. You post all this and that. I'm just here to have fun with this. I can't. It's not gonna work. Um, but again, the last thing is, of course, for my end of things, is that I am promoting. I'm in Proton's partner program. I am promoting the Proton Pass. I still haven't got. I haven't gotten the time to get that unlimited Proton link yet in there. I've been trying to finish up the Rumble Squared feedback data collection I've been putting out. I hope you guys have been enjoying that because that has been turning your feedback into a visual that you guys can see and so much more. And that's my pinned post on my profile. So if you want to see what the result of that is, it's on the pinned post of that profile because X is really not good about pushing that kind of stuff out there. So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless, that is there. But anyway, I am promoting Proton Pass. It is their password manager, and what it is, it allows you to use a alias email, has 2FA in it, baked into it, and all this stuff. Really, Proton is great about the privacy, whatnot. Earlier, heard me and uh, Amorata talk about it because she uses it too.
Yep.
And we both enjoy using the things they offer and whatnot. And some of it is free to use if you just want to try it out. Not all of it, like the Proton Pass, is not free to use. But with this link, you can go there, see what else they talk about upon it, and also you get a discount for signing to up this link. But guess what? Yes, I can make money on it off it, but if you don't want to go through with it, that's okay. It's no skin off my back. This is basically just promoting a benefit. And I'd rather promote a benefit I use for you guys because if you guys can benefit and if I don't get anything out of it, that's fine too. The link's there. on both ends. So thank you very much for that. And we've already seen what many have been saying. Oh, hey, Alaska Jeff. Well, Alaska Jeff, you're at the end of it though. So
Yeah, he still came in and said hi.
yeah,
That's what matters.
that is true. He even used the hat gift right there.
Oh,
And he actually made that. So Alaska Jeff actually made that hat gift for me. So thank you, Alaska
it's
Jeff,
cool.
for that. Yeah. He's an artiste. He is actually making family friendly works on a website called castercraft.net. CASTOR I think dash craft.net. And yeah, he's been doing it for quite a while. He actually does, I think he does 3D animation and 2D animation, but Alaska Jeff can pipe up in the chat if you'd like to explain that a little bit. But again, for tomorrow, no dashes. Okay, castercraft.net. So no dashes. Okay, thank you for correcting that.
Good to know.
But tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, I will have on a gentleman by the name of X Battleroid or Battle Droid. Yeah. He'll be on tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. Met him through the Rumble side, so looking forward to having him on and hearing about whatever. There you go. That's the website right there. There you go.
Very cool.
So hope to see that. And don't forget, guys, this Friday there will be no Pay It Forward stream because I am on the Atreus and his friends show. I think it's the New Black Street or something like that.
New Black Street, they're cool. Yeah.
Yeah, at 6 p.m. Eastern. They had put out something like I think a month or two ago about, hey, would you like to come on or whatever? I threw my hat in the ring, and this Friday will be that. So we'll see how it goes.
Cool.
I may be the black sheep in the family, but we'll see how it goes. But they've had Toasty on before, who I've had on as well, and so they should be fine. But we'll see how it goes. But anyway, the last thing I do with my guests, of course, is the one and only questions from a hat. Obviously, I bought a hat from Rumble. I put some questions in it. So what happens is that my guest gets 2 freebie questions. However, if you'd like more than the 2 questions pulled out of the hat, well, unfortunately, I'm not monetizing Rumble, YouTube. So sorry, YouTube, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. However, it is, unfortunately, because I think it's like you have to have like the 500. There's a first tier and a second tier to it.
Yeah, you have to do 500 followers and 3,000 watch hours, and then it's 1,000 followers and 4,000 watch hours.
Yeah, that's the base one. Like 500 is just to get supercharged, which is, I mean, that's not a better deal, especially when it used to be like just 1,000, to be honest, to get to everything. But I'm not monetized there, but I am monetized in Rumble. So if you want more than the 2 questions below the hat, it has to be a Rumble rant. It could be a $1, it could be a $2. If you feeling even grateful, I'll even take a $500. But we're all poor here, so I've had $1 and $2 spammed on me before. So do not think monetization. Yeah, I mean they still hit people pretty hard with ineligibility and all that stuff, but it's the one that holds the most power at this point. So there is that. But anyway, again, if you want more than the 2 questions, you have to give a Rumble rant. But first off, question numero uno. Let's see what we get. My eyes are closed. I'm feeling around in the hat like a blind man in the dark.
I can't even see the hat, so we're good.
That's even better. Here, the first one is, what's your favorite way to unwind after a long day?
My favorite way to unwind after a long day is to come home, sit in my chair, and read.
Read? What are you reading?
I read a lot of sci-fi, fantasy, that kind of book. My last good read was After Moses by Michael Caine. I highly recommend it if you're someone who enjoyed Firefly when it was on TV.
Oh.
The book series, I should say, is very reminiscent of that. It takes place in obviously a future world where an AI came up and gave humanity all this technology and then just disappeared, and humanity had no idea how it did any of it. So the universe is slowly kind of contracting as humanity is struggling to survive. But it's really cool the way he wrote that out. Then there is also Theft of Fire by Devin Erickson, which is, again, sci-fi, futuristic. It's more of a heist
Mm-hmm.
kind of deal. So I do recommend that one. It's first person perspective on that one, so it's a little odd at first, but he does an excellent job capturing the perspective of just the one character, and you get the idea of everything going on in his head, while you at the same time learn about the other characters and get to see how they evolve through his eyes. It's really definitely also a really good read. So those are the two recent ones that I really enjoyed.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't read any new books myself recently, but again, not a whole lot of time. I did a while ago. I went to the Barnes and Noble, and I went to go buy the complete collection of Sherlock Holmes, but
Cool.
because I've been listening to a BBC radio drama on YouTube, and those are pretty nice to listen to. They've made some ones that are not written by Conan O'Doyle or Conan Doyle, but they're still pretty good to listen to. So, but yeah, but question number 2, I don't know if you want to answer that one or not. It's up to you.
I just put an answer in chat.
Okay. The answer is, this is how I was born. What are you talking about? You should have said, what are you talking about, Willis? I know that Cthulhu could talk smack. What the heck? All right. Question number 2, and that'll be it unless someone gives a rumble rant. Let's see what we got. Ooh, here we go. A little more color.
Ooh.
This one is, here we go. What's a simple pleasure from your childhood that still holds up today?
Blankets. I have an obsession with blankets. I love blankets. I have more blankets than any sane person should actually have. I collect them. My mother would even go as far to say as I hoard them. There's nothing better than a nice, soft, cozy blanket that you just kind of wrap yourself up in and chill out. Typically, again, while reading. That's kind of my thing there. Just I can't help it if I'm in a store and I touch a blanket and it's a really nice blanket. I want to take it home. I've learned not to, because really you only need so many blankets, but at the same time you can't have too many blankets, because if the power goes out and it's winter, you're going to need all those blankets.
Oh, yes. And
so,
and Montana is probably pretty cold during the winter.
Yeah, it definitely can be.
Oh my goodness. I have exactly one blanket, and I want a copy of it, but it was discontinued. Curses. Dang it.
You need more blankets.
Yeah, you need more blankets. I like the fleece ones, the really soft. You just rub yourself. Oh, yeah, that feels. But I more prefer the sleeping bag, though. I only have one. But I do have quilts, though. Do you have quilts as well?
Those count as blankets.
Okay, all right. Well, I have 2 quilts made by a grandparent. And then I have a blanket I bought from as those things you do buy for the sheets and stuff. But I do like my sleeping bag a bit more. But hey, you can't go wrong with a Coleman. But anyway, that is the end of it. Of course, again, tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, X Battle Droid is going to be on. And also, don't forget that for all those who have helped give feedback for Rumble Squared and all that stuff, the posts have been put out. It is on my pinned post on my profile. You can go there and take a look at what majority have been saying. I collected data from 3 points. There was the Rumble Squared show. There was the question of the month, which I collected as well. And then there was a situation where Nina Infinity, that Star Wars girl, and Joe Pags were signed up in this discussion about discoverability and whatnot. And so that's all there. And then the culmination of all that. And there's at least one more extra bit tomorrow. That'll be posted tomorrow, and that'll be it. And all that stuff. And yes, there will be a quarterly survey this month. It will have the creator and viewer side of things like I've done before in the past. But this again, it's only quarterly because people do get fatigued of that sort of thing. So I've kind of learned over the process of doing the surveys and stuff of what not to do and what get better at and whatnot. But again,
Mhm.
this is all in for the sake of finding where people are at, where the big chunk of people are talking about, what should Rumble work on and all that stuff. And again, I can tell you confidently, content discovery and platform stability are the two big main issues many people have, and that's just not talking out my butt, which I am not going to try. So don't ask. But still, I can back up what I say with what I have and all that stuff. Oh, there you go. There's the real answer of why the Cthulhu. So, but I thought it was just because you love the Lovecraftian stuff.
I mean, it's partly that, but yeah, I mean, it's me and my. I was in someone's chat and came up with the idea. My husband drew the initial sketch for the idea, and then I kind of went with it, and that's where we are today.
There you go. And as they say, the rest is history. But again, that's the end of the show. Hope to see you all tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, of course. Thank you all in chat for joining. And thank you again, Amorata, for coming back on. It's always a pleasure to get to speak to you again. And I'm glad to see that you're still skipping along as always. And I don't think your model has changed much since last time, though.
I don't think so, no, but
Yeah.
it's still a good model. I could use some improvements, but I don't have the money for that right now. So that's
we
the
all?
way it is. I would like to change my outfit up, I think, but yeah, it is
Yeah.
what it is.
Money. Oh, you're telling
Yep,
me, sister. But
money's always an issue.
always. But for the end of it, as always, I play One Day With You by Pogo, and don't forget to mute your mic because it will bleed into the music video. So again, guys, 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow with Ike's Battle Droid. Thank you all so much, and ladies and gentlemen, I will see you next time.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.